Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Not Move Podcast Hockey Show in the Wickets. I'm Dollface Gremlin. As always, my two partners, A Train and Southgate. How you doing today, A Train?
Doing good, doing good.
And then Southgate, how you doing today, brother? Uh-oh. Already. How you doing, Southgate? You there, buddy?
He's caught in the matrix.
I think Southgate's caught in the matrix. But hey, everybody, welcome again to the Not Move Podcast Hockey Show in the Wickets. This week, we've got some exciting stuff. We're waiting for one of our friends to be joining us here shortly, and then we're going to see what kind of fun we get into with our player profiles later on. But A Train, brother, what an exciting time. You guys have clinched and are ready to roll into the playoffs. Congratulations.
Yep. Obviously, Nathan McKinnon doing Nathan McKinnon type stuff. All around as a team, we're looking at getting that President's Trophy, and there's Southgate.
Welcome, Southie. How you doing tonight, man? You there with us, Southie? Southgate.
Wow.
Man, Southie. I don't know, brother. I think you need to get your stuff fixed, but A Train and I, we are gonna hold it down just fine for you. So Colorado Avalanche, of course, they clinch. And how about they're gonna go ahead and watch the Stars in the Wild, who it was confirmed are gonna face up in the first round. I bet you're delighted, aren't you?
Yeah, this is what I was hoping was going to happen, and I kind of saw it panning out prior to this, right? So I want to see them. I want to see them beat each other up and go to seven, and I'll take the best winner of that series. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I wish Southgate was here right now because I was kind of looking at it. I think Dallas is slightly favored. I could be wrong, but I think we're on a course to meet in the second round. I think this is always what happens. It's always us and the Stars going heads up in the second round.
Yeah, and as of right now, you guys are going to go ahead and face the Mammoth. There are a few games left in the season, four for the Predators and five for Utah. It looks like Utah's probably going to sync that up right now. They're probably going to lock it up. What do you think about initially? That's going to be your first round opponent, Utah Mammoth.
I mean, and we've talked about it from weeks on weeks. I mean, as an overall team, I think top to bottom, full roster. I don't think they can hang with us. I just don't think they can
Yeah.
hang.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I like the young talent, but I think you and I said that Mackenzie Weegar trade is probably going to be for more for the future than a
Hmm.
right
Yep.
away impact. Southie, are you with us? Southgate. Well, brother, you keep on trying. We'll keep on letting you have your shine as soon as you can, man. But yeah, so I think you guys are going to roll. I 7 games. I don't know about you. Wild and Stars look like a 7 game series to me,
Oh yeah.
huh?
Oh yeah.
I'm really impressed though that the Wild have been able to keep that pace with the Stars ever since getting Quinn Hughes. It's been nice to see. And but the Eastern Conference things have shaped up whereas the Carolina Hurricanes, Southgate's elected team, has locked up the Metropolitan Division. They are definitely going to be the number 1 seed. You know, even whoever comes out of this division, which I do in the end, even though my Pens are technically in the playoffs right now and might play the Flyers. I think the Hurricanes are coming out of this division. Now we will have a pre-show, obviously, for our playoff predictions for the first round. But just talking here, I do see the Hurricanes coming out and facing whoever comes out of that Atlantic division. Hurricanes, 106 points on the season. Very impressive for them. Another first place finish for Rod Brindamore.
Yep. Good team. They're a good team. They're not sneaking up on anyone. We know what they're about, and they are going to be a problem come this playoff run.
They are going to be a problem. But we did see some weird shakeups this week. You and I got to see it earlier in the week. The New York Islanders decided to go ahead and relieve Patrick Wall of his duties as head coach in not even his full second year. He was almost there, and they've decided to go on and hire Peter DeBoer. Um, while I think DeBoer is a good head coach, I was a little shocked about this right off the bat. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been down this road. I've had the Patrick Waugh experience, right? So difference here was, when Waugh left the Avalanche, it was he stepped down, right? So it wasn't a firing, right? It was like a mutual part, right? Which did come to as a shock. He was the VP of hockey operations for the Avalanche, and Sakic was the GM at the time. So they did the honorable thing and they let him, step down, and we moved forward and eventually hired our Cup winning coach, Jared Bednar. But this one's a little bit different, right? So, this Islanders team has hit a rough patch, right? This rough patch, it includes, losing 4 games in a row and 7 of the last 10, right? So they definitely got on a little bit of a skid, right? And, this is a high stakes move with only 4 games remaining. And, it's crazy to me. I'm always going to have a soft spot for Patrick Waugh, but I've seen this happen before, right? Um, but his replacement, I get why they made the move, right? And I'm going to play devil's advocate because it might be a shocker, but he has a wealth of experience. He has coached teams with the Panthers, the Devils, the Sharks, the Golden Knights, the Stars.
Right.
He's led the Golden Knights. He's led multiple teams to the Stanley Cup Finals in his first year. So that's not like they're getting some bum off the street, right?
Yeah, Peter DeBoer was kind of just hanging out, weighing his odds, wasn't he? He was looking at the landscape. He took that time off after being relieved of his coaching duties at that last stop with Dallas there, which Dallas was a thorn in your side, and Peter DeBoer was at the helm for those couple years of being a thorn in your side. And you are absolutely right. He is a very good head coach. He's taken the Devils to an Eastern Conference final. He has taken the Sharks to a Western Conference champions. They were champions. Like you said, Stanley Cup finals. I like this move for the Islanders' future. I think that's what this is. I think they're looking at we have already our star player and our rookie. I Schaefer is there. He's going to be the one that they're tying anchor to. And I think Peter DeBoer is a really good coach. But I do want to say we have a special guest showing up, one of our good friends who'll be waiting to join us. Bro. Thank you for joining us, bro. How you doing today?
Yeah, what's good, bro? How y'all doing, man?
Good, good.
Doing good, doing good. And we are currently discussing the Islanders head coaching change. What do you think about that?
Well, I think for the Islanders, at the end of the day, man, like we all should know when it pertains to the Islanders, they've had some great talent, man. Obviously, over the years, man, it just has not worked out. But change is necessary, man, for them. I think they have a few draft picks. I'm not sure offhand. Like I just told bro, I don't got my laptop on hand, so I can't necessarily cheat right now. But I do know that the I do know that the Islanders, man, are probably about a year or two away from really, really just being a decent team in the National Hockey League. So I'm not as excited for them and their transformation because I am a Sabres guy. But when it pertains to the Islanders, I do think they're about a year or two away. So change is necessary sometimes.
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head. The roster is can be shaped into something that DeBoer can work with real soon. Real soon. They've already got the young pieces. The goaltending is there. Sorokin is one of the top five goalies in the league, no matter what anybody tells you, and he's been playing with the Islanders there.
Mhm.
So you are right, bro. Peter DeBoer, like A Train said, he is a coach that can do a lot of good work when given some of that
He's had success
leeway.
already, so it's not like he hasn't had success in the National Hockey League, man. So I like he said, I just think that um, maybe the move that a lot of people don't talk about is the offense for them as well. You look at some of the highlights of what they've been through this year, and you look at the games where they're getting their tails kicked, but it's not
Mhm.
because they can't necessarily score, right? It's not necessarily because they can't put the puck in the goal. So I just think a move or two would help them going along with DeBoer, and we'll see what happens, man. Maybe they make a move with the Sabres. You never know, man.
Yeah, and the contracts, it's not a typical interim deal, right? So usually,
Right.
they don't, lock him in, for a short period of time. They lock him in for a short period of time. He's locked in from 29 to 2030. So this guy's not going
Hmm.
anywhere anytime soon. And this team is in a do or die scenario now, right?
Hmm.
They have a big game tomorrow, right, for his coaching debut. So, one thing I do like about him too is he actually has a record of 9-0 in game sevens. So,
Yeah.
like we said
That's
earlier,
actually impressive. Yeah, that's impressive.
that's I mean, that's pretty
That's,
impressive.
yeah,
Yep.
that's impressive. That's impressive.
Yep.
Yeah. I do like DeBoer, and I am going to watch that game tomorrow for sure. A Train against the Senators. It is going to be, or I mean, sorry, 7 o'clock. But tonight, some of the action that's going on is going to dictate what happens, and we'll get to that after we also talk a little bit about the New Jersey Devils front office change as well. They decided that they were no longer in need of the services due to how the last couple seasons have shaken out. A Train, start off with you, brother. What do you think about the shakeup in the Devils front office?
So obviously this team is struggling, right? Seventh place right now in the Metropolitan Division. They're 40-35-3 is their current record right now. And we talked about it off air a little bit, Graham. Bad mid-season home stretches for them from November to February. They have just struggled from that time frame, and it's become a problem. Jack Hughes missing over 20 games is obviously going to hurt your team. We already
Yep.
know, the dog that they have on that team. Their best player missing 20 games is never going to benefit the team, right? Uh, the focus is going to shift to the draft now, right? They're picking around the 20th overall pick. You're looking at the future at this point. Missing the playoffs, ownership saying it's not acceptable. So that's my 2 cents on the deal.
And how about you,
Yeah.
bro? How do you feel about it?
Well, I just think that at the end of the day, like we were just speaking about with the Islanders, when you don't, when you're in contention, it's kind of bad. When you get to the end of the season, it's not the same thing. And so you probably have a bunch of players that are upset. They're looking at the division and clearly saw that they probably had an opportunity to, not only be involved, but just to have a chance to make the playoffs. And so when you don't do that, you're going to see changes. And we're not talking about a team that hasn't had success. They've had success in the past. So I think they're going to want to get back to that, especially with this offseason approaching after the playoffs. So
Yeah, one of the big things too that the Devils even still are rumored around is making this a Hughes central focus team and trying to go out there and get Quinn Hughes.
mhm.
I mean, personally, my opinion, I think they're paying one of the Hugheses too much at this time already. Um, and I'll let you guess as to which one it is. It's not, and I'll say I'm not going to say ever again.
wonder,
It's Jack Hughes. After the Olympics, he can
wonder,
have as much money
wonder,
as he wants forever and ever.
Nah.
But
wonder what jacket was. No, go
yeah,
ahead.
well, I just I I want to see if this team can move forward now and do the moves necessary, right? Because it seems like they weren't really willing to part with certain pieces to get more capital to make their team better, right? That's one of the big things that Fitzgerald is scrutinized with, not making better moves for them to surround Jack Hughes and Luke Hughes. So we will see what happens with him and another front office move that happened yesterday. Mr. Ron Francis has decided to step down from his tenure as the president of hockey operations for the Seattle Kraken. He has been there basically
Since the
since
beginning.
since the beginning. I am always going to be a fan of Ron Francis. He helped the Carolina Hurricanes not only on the ice but off the ice. He's kind of the reason they are who they are today. But maybe this is something that's good for him, good for his family. He is at that stage in his career where he can do whatever he wants, right? Bro, what do you feel about Ron Francis?
Yeah, man. Shout out to him, man. He's one of the ones when you talk about hockey, man, from his heyday, man, he was everywhere on the ice, man. So I'm definitely was a big fan of Ron Francis. I'm not necessarily a friend of the Carolina Panthers. I think we know that. But just give him kudos, man. And at the end of the day, he needs a job somewhere else, man. You look at what's going on with Carolina right now. Excuse me, with Seattle right now. It's not something to be happy about. And so I think maybe a change is necessary. Maybe he can get another job, or like you said, maybe he just rides off to the sunset, waits a couple years, and gets an opportunity later on. But Ryan Francis' name alone, he'll get a job somewhere if that's what he's looking for. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. A-Train, what about you on Ron Francis?
Yeah, obviously, a former Hall of Fame player. He started, like you guys said, when, this team began. 7 years he's been with it, and he's been a GM, and he stepped into that president's role. And, pretty much what I remember is them defeating us in 2022, 2023 season and knocking us out of the playoffs. So that's really my 2 cents on it. I mean, doesn't affect me a bunch. That's one thing
Yeah,
that sticks in my mind.
you, you could care less. Is basically what you're telling us.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
I will say at least one thing that's really nice to see about this separation is it was done with grace and
Right,
respect. Both
right.
of them, the GM Botterill had nothing but good things. They had the press conference together, so this isn't like one of those NFL firings or bad NBA firings. This is when two people know, all right, I have to step away from the position. So, hey, Ron, Mr. Francis, wherever you go. Salute to you, sir. Hopefully, we see you again someday soon.
Mhm.
Now,
Right.
we are going to go ahead real quick. We're going to head into a commercial break, and then we're going to do something that I am very happy to do. We're going to glaze my man Sidney Crosby after this. All right. We're going to talk about
Okay.
how he is
Oh,
transitioning like a fine wine at the age of
oh my
38. And
God.
then, hey, bro, listen, you're going to get the most ice space later when we bust into that NMP player profile of Tage Thompson. So
Yes,
we're going
sir.
to
Yes, sir.
make sure you offset this love, okay?
Oh my
Make sure you
God,
get it back
bro.
in the Buffalo favor. But guys, please stick around. We appreciate all of you. We're just going to let you know about some of these NMP shows we got coming up. We'll be right back.
No, but Friday nights, 9 Eastern, it's the Dribble NBA edition on the Not Move podcast. We break down the week, the trades, the highlights, everything around the league. Tap in, chop it up with us, and get the takes that move the game forward. Stay not moved.
If you're craving baseball talk that doesn't flinch, tap in with us Monday nights at 8 Eastern.
It's the Rusty Mitt MLB edition of the Not Move podcast. Breakdowns, debates, all the swings and misses without the fake fluff.
Join us live or catch the replay wherever you get your pods. Rusty Mitt, not moved. Stay not moved.
Tap into the Not Move podcast every Friday night at 8 Eastern.
We're bringing the scrap sheet, UFC edition.
Every jab, every takedown, every headline.
All the fights, all the drama, all the picks, right here.
Watch live on YouTube or listen anywhere you get your podcast. Hit follow, hit subscribe.
And stay not moved.
Tuesday nights just got louder. Ringside Rewind is live every week, 9 Eastern.
We're breaking down Raw, SmackDown, and everything leading into the weekend. If it happens between the ropes, we're talking about it.
Deep dives, hot takes, and a few surprise
And
replays.
a whole lot of arguing.
Yeah, but the good kind.
Ringside
Every Thursday night, the Not Move podcast drops a new episode of
In the Wickets.
our deep dive on everything around the NHL.
Break down the plays, the trades, the stats, and the stories that matter.
Plus a few hot takes along the way.
Join us live at 8 p.m. Eastern or catch it on your favorite podcast app right after.
Same energy, same on.
The world's game has a new home. Tap into the Not Move podcast every Sunday night at 9 Eastern. It's the football edition, and I'm bringing you the El Uncle Max attack, everything World Cup, every angle, every goal. Breakdowns, laughs, and all the passion in the pitch. Stay locked, stay ready.
Morning bettors, welcome back to Angling the Odds on the Not Move podcast.
Every Monday and Friday, we tear into lines, probabilities, and hidden edges across the boards.
We run the numbers, chart the trends, and find value plays so you can tilt the odds your way.
Live at 10:30 Eastern. Mark it, lock it, and join the conversation.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for hanging tight. So, just want to touch a little bit on Sidney Crosby for the reason that this is his 21st year in the league, and he has once again set another record. He has set the record for most consecutive seasons in the NHL with a point per game. Uh, I I love seeing stuff like this happen for any player. Even when Zetterberg was playing and Pavel Datsuk, I just like watching hockey players, even Ovechkin breaking Gretzky's record. It's wonderful to see these hockey players who age so well continue at such a great pace. For Crosby missing games this year, obviously we saw what happened after the Olympics. He still has 72 points in 63 or 66 games at 38 years old, on a team that wasn't supposed to make it to the playoffs, especially a team that last year did not excel, and he had 91 points in 80 games at 37. To see this type of production nowadays is really unique. There's only a couple players that I can foresee maybe doing this on the forward side in the future. I'm excited to see where he ends up with this career with the Pens. Right now, seventh all time in scoring. He just passed his boyhood hero, Steve Yzerman. You know what? All these things that he's doing, I can't say enough. Modern day hockey, he's the standard, in my opinion. From the time that Lemieux retired and all those guys went their way, we were looking for something to grab onto, and it was Crosby and Ovechkin, and we were looking for that leadership. And Crosby has continued with that, and look how it's influenced your players over there, A Train and Nate McKinnon. He is best friends with Sidney Crosby. They have trained in the offseason together, and he's taken that page, the Nova Scotian page, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's kind of sick that I didn't get to spotlight my goat, but it's all right. Yeah, Sidney Crosby's one of the best players in the world. What are we talking about? He's one ever made. I'm looking at like his just all what he's done. It made me sick looking at it. He's won every major thing you can win in hockey. 3-time Stanley Cup champion, league MVPs, 4-time Eastern Conference champion, Conn Smythe, leading scorer twice, Ted Lindsay Award 3 times, Olympic medals, 4 nations, male athlete of the year 3 times. I'm not gonna glaze him anymore. This is your guy. I'm done talking about him.
Bro, what do you think about this? Him being able to keep up this high level play at his age after 21 years in the league.
Well, first of all, A-Train definitely did a lot of glazing, so let's shout him out with his Sidney Crosby love affair that he has going
Wow,
on.
really,
But
bro?
I'm just saying, though, bro. I mean, Jesus, I didn't think you would go that far with this guy. I'm like, Jesus Christ, is he a Crosby fan? No, but listen, hey, Crosby for one. Think about this, like you spoke about when people were talking about who was going to be that guy up 15, 16 years ago when him and you just said his name.
Ovechkin.
Ovechkin. When him and Ovechkin were really going for who was the guy in the league, and you had a couple guys that came along that we thought that would potentially still be around, like these two. And we're not talking about Ovechkin, but Ovechkin is still making his name known as well. So give kudos to him as well, being that we glazed at Crosby. But Crosby's truly one of those ones, man. I remember when the Sabres were so ass, if you will. He took full advantage of it, and he didn't hold back. He didn't care that we were going through rebuilds. He didn't care that we didn't have anybody that could keep up with him sliding down the damn ice all damn day. So kudos to his career, man. Shout him out. But fucking, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I can't be.
Well, it looks like this week's player profile of Tage Thompson is canceled. So this has been a great show, bro. You have been a wonderful guest. I guess we'll see y'all next week if that's the attitude we're taking.
But fuck them.
Yeah. Being that we doing all this effing around here. Yeah.
But hey, we will move on about that because I just wanted to show love because he will not be the Penguins feature. We're probably not going to talk about him in that long form much just because we already know his greatness. We've already seen it once before. I'm just happy to see guys in hockey, especially Crosby, the older generation, still thriving. And I can't wait to see what the playoffs bring. Bro, we're going to start with a New York Ranger first because we want to let you go long form on your Buffalo Sabre. So we're going to start with the player profile of the one, the only Igor Shesterkin. Igor Shesterkin is the tremendous goaltender. He, in his short time in the NFL since 2019, leads the league in his time since being in the league in save percentage. He leads the league in goals against average, 2.63 during his time. He has won Vezina to his trophy case. He also was able to be with that Rangers team that went to the conference finals not so long ago. And I think Igor Shesterkin is eerily going down the same path as Henrik Lundqvist. We're watching a number one goaltender in the league make conference finals and can't quite get the chip just yet. And A-Train, Igor Shesterkin, he's one of those goaltenders that was drafted in a later round and had to develop, didn't he?
Yep. Even being on a bad eliminated team that's, obviously not fighting for playoff berth or, they've been eliminated. He has maintained an elite level of play at this point. When your team is out, sometimes players start slacking off. They don't play as hard. This guy's still an elite goaltender. He's a top 3 goalie in my opinion, right? He's the backbone of the New York Rangers. He's the highest paid goalie in NHL history too. I was looking at his contract, and it's disgusting what he's getting paid.
Yeah, he's getting a nice, pretty penny there.
Makes me
I
feel
believe.
broke.
I know, especially when you see a goaltender making that much in the NHL. He is making roughly around 12 million a year
Mhm.
up until 2020, no, 2033. So
Crazy.
Igor's going to be there for a while. Bro, you and I have seen a lot of Igor because of where we play.
Right.
He's really a thorn in our side sometime, isn't he?
And didn't he just get this? Didn't he just get this contract like maybe 2 years ago? If I'm
Yes, he
not
did.
mistaken, he was. They were debating if they were going to pay him or not. If they
Yes.
Because it was the thing was that the team was they were playoff bound ish, but they figured why pay him when we can pay the rest of the roster. I think that's the move that you can actually give them kudos for not letting him go because the Sabres were a team that were involved in potentially trade. So I never thought honestly that they were going to get rid of him just because of what we see right now. You saw some of those traits of him making those miraculous saves for the Rangers. So just to still have that type of stability, when you got a goalie stability and compared to like scores and all that, scores and those guys come. They come and go. When you have that goalie that you know you can depend on, and sometimes you get to those games where it's that 1-0 game, that 2-1 game, and you know you can depend on. He's that guy you can depend on. So I don't think under no circumstances they were going to get rid of him. And shout out to GM man for keeping him around, man. He's definitely talented, bro.
Yes, Igor has not had in his total time in the NHL for his first few seasons no less than 25 wins.
Right. Right. Come
I
on.
mean, that alone already in
Right.
what we're looking at 7 years, no less than 25 wins, and he's
Hmm.
clearly on a bad team this year. And I don't think they're
Hmm.
bad. Bro, you'll agree with me. The talent, they should not be bad.
Right. I just think it's circumstance. Sometimes when you feel like you got the right roster, and that shit just don't gel right for whatever the reason. And it could be from like we spoke about with the coaching. It could be that, or it could just be a lot of guys check out. A lot of times when they foresee things, these players are the ones that are on the team, so they foresee things before we do as fans. And when they get to a certain point, they might be like, "Man, I ain't got time for this shit, man. Get him out of here, or make some changes." And I'm not putting the same effort because think about it. Some of these guys will be coming up for contracts next year. Some of these guys are playing to be traded and playing for another team. And so you don't want to take that chance when you don't think that. I mean, I'm only speaking from a fan's perspective. I have not
Right.
spoken to any of these Ranger players, so I don't want to make it seem like I had a conversation with them and they've checked out. But it's just what we see as fans. When you look at the team, you're not playing the same way that you would think they would be playing with a goalie like that and a team that they do have some type of talent on. So it's unfortunate for a Ranger fan, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
Facts.
and guys, we have a poll going right down in the corner. If you're on our YouTube page of who do you think is the greatest New York Ranger goalie of all time? We got Igor Shesterkin, number one. Number two, Henrik Lundqvist. Number three, Mike Richter. And number four, this is only going to go to some knowledgeable hockey fans, Ed Giacomin. He is from the 1966 season New York Rangers, third in all-time wins for the Rangers, third or fourth in all-time wins. So take a vote while we still sit here and we go a little bit more on Igor, but take your vote because we're also going to have a nice little poll up for the greatest goal, who you think is the greatest goal scorer for the Buffalo Sabres. And I'm sure BroBro's got plenty of thoughts on that
I
one
got a
since
bunch. I got a
he,
bunch. I got a
but,
bunch. I got a bunch.
but I also think this year, my former coach, Mike Sullivan, is coaching them this year. And I don't know if it's one of those things where his system just isn't working with the personnel right now, or if they are on the verge of changing everything over, right? Maybe this is where something is about to transition. They're about to make more moves. I hear a lot of things, or at least read, that JT Miller is still not a very happy person, even with the change from Vancouver to New York. Uh, JT Miller is still just not a happy person. I don't understand it. A
All right,
Train,
there you go. All right, there
do
you
you,
go. My bad.
if they, no problem, bro. If anybody does get moved with this Rangers team and Shesterkin stays, he still has a good chance of staying on board for a few more years and, keeping them in contention, at least on the back end.
Yeah, bringing them to a conference finals. This team, 2022, 2024, both had a conference finals appearance on both of those years. it's just crazy how much, changes so quick. The window closes real quick. We look at that Florida team. The window just closed real quick. You were a good team. You were a good team, winning championships or going to conference finals. Then all of a sudden you're just not that team anymore. And that's what we're seeing, I feel like, with this team.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the same thing. It's a shame. I always like seeing goaltenders thrive. I know you do too, being that you've had the greatest goaltender ever in your franchise. But
Facts.
I'm
Oh,
hopeful
okay.
Shesterkin goes to a different team. So just go somewhere else. I do enjoy watching the Sabres score on them and the Penguins selfishly. Just a little bit of selfishness here, but
Dang.
well, bro, this is your time to shine, my friend. Your man
What's up?
is Tage Thompson. Tage Thompson came over to Buffalo via a trade from St. Louis way back when. And bro, go ahead, my man. Talk about Tage Thompson.
Well, I mean, we had prior conversations about Tage. I think Tage is just one piece, man, to what the old regime was trying to build. And you see a bunch of the talent that was traded away from the Sabres, and they're all over the National Hockey League. And so to see a guy like Tage actually come to the Sabres and they actually keep him and not trade him somewhere else, even after the fact of the last few years when they were teeter-tottering in the beginning of the season, looked like they could potentially be a playoff team. He stuck around for all that. He didn't force his way out. He didn't say, hey, listen, I don't got time to be a part of a rebuild, even though in the beginning he did say that, but that's neither here nor there. And that's because if you look at what the team was, it was in shambles. So, of course, a player of his caliber who's young and feeling like this is not the place I would want to be, you look at him now, you look at all the talent that is finally there, the play of the goalie and Luukkonen. He may not be Henry Lundqvist. He may not be some of these talents that we've seen over the years that we would consider one of the best talents of all time from a goal standing point. But for the Sabres, he's been absolutely perfect this year. He's had multiple games where he's had less than a goal against average. He's had multiple games where he's had game-saving ties, including the game where he didn't play so bad, as I spoke to you about a few days ago with the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was a very high-score game. It was an 8-7 final. Sabres win. So just to see his growth as a player and look on the ice and see him make play after play. There was a hell of a steal the other day. I want to say we were playing the Carolina Hurricanes. There was a hell of a steal, and the captain, Darlene, made a hell of a slap shot, man. I mean, just to see this camaraderie with this young nucleus as well as some of the veterans for the Sabres, I truly believe we have an opportunity. I don't think the Sabres win the cup, but Tage is a guy that if we are getting close to the Eastern Conference Finals, if you will, and playing against a team, I feel like we have an opportunity now to score with anybody. And we have the goaltending to keep us in the game. So kudos to Tage and the rest of the Sabres, man. I'm very ecstatic.
Yeah, Tage is a phenom. A-Train, what do you think about Mr. Tage Thompson?
Yeah, standing at an imposing 6'6", 220 pounds. He's obviously the focal point for your Buffalo Sabres, bro. He has a unique physical skill set, and I feel like he has great shooting power and a clutch factor to him. So I will glaze your Tage Thompson just for a little bit. That's all you're gonna get, though, bro.
Well, hey, listen, hey, thanks for the glaze, man. At least you shared some this time, other than just going to Crosby with it. But listen, I agree with you because if you think about the previous 5-6 years with the Sabres prior to Tage actually coming into his own, that was a big problem for us not having the guys with size, Pauls, to necessarily give that up, if you will. When it pertains to putting guys on their behinds, man, and letting them know that you're there. And so, like you said, man, to have a guy his size and with the abilities that he has offensively as well, like I said, I just think sky's the limit. I do feel like the Sabres could have maybe swung for the fences, but I understand why they did not. You look at the roster; it's not a bad roster. Then compared to other years, it's not like they're so dependent on Luukkonen to save the day, right? Everything's not on him to be that goalie because that's not him. That's not his game anyway. So, but I do think Tage healthy, heading into these playoffs. I do think we have a chance. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now, where everything sits, we'll talk about the games here shortly. But right now, obviously, the Sabres are at the head of the division, so they do have the number one seed, which is good for them because I don't. Oh, you and I talked about this, Bro, and A Train. We all had a brief conversation. We don't think they want to see the Canadians in that first round right off the
No,
bat.
no, no, no.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think the Lightning want to see the
In the
Canadians
second
in the
round.
first round. I don't think they want to see them this first round either. I think the Canadians are the foil for that division that we're all a little unsure of.
Here's the thing. I would if I'm a I mean as a fan of the game, I'm still going to say that when it's all said and done, I don't think nobody wants to go to Tampa Bay. I feel you on what's going on, and other and rightfully so. You look at what's going on with Pirates, like you said, the Sabres have the one seed, but that was fluctuated in the last few weeks. Like it's been going Tampa Bay, Montreal, Buffalo, like that's just been happening. So I think purposely, I think a lot of teams have been positioning themselves. I think for the Sabres, the one seed is necessary because you have to come to Buffalo, right? It obviously doesn't have the same factor of the outdoors with the Bills, but there is a factor to home ice advantage when you talk about the National Hockey League. So I think that the Sabres are a young enough team where that home ice is necessary. I think Tampa Bay can win anywhere. I don't know if I can say the same thing for Montreal. I don't know if I can say the same thing for some of these other teams. So I think for the Sabres specifically, the one seed is necessary, but you can't get caught up in that because we've seen a bunch of one seeds get their ass whooped in the first round. So I think they just need to go with that same mindset. The one thing that I will say about the Sabres that I saw in the last 2 weeks that the effort wasn't the same because I felt like they were approaching games as if they knew teams know we're good now, so we don't have to approach it as aggressive as needy, to be on point in these games, and that's up to the coach and to get the players' attention again. And I think he did that the last couple of games. You saw the change in how they attack teams in comparison to waiting for teams to attack them. And so I think going forward, they just have to because they're quick. It's not this team is not slow like it once was. They're very quick. They have very quick guys on the outside and the left. I forget his name. Tuck. No. What the fuck is his name? Left wing, bro.
Tuck? Or are you
Uh-uh.
talking about Krebs?
Krebs. So when you look at when they have Krebs on the ice with Tage, that's the point where they can actually take advantage because of his size and because of the speed to go with the size. So I think because we're top line heavy, we're not bottom line heavy. If you look at those fourth and fifth line, there's a waste of not to diss them, but it's just not the same pump when it pertains to scoring. So I think going forward, they just have to attack the same way and not get caught up in what happened in the regular season. This is a whole nother season. So.
Yep, after 14 years of heartbreak, bro, your team is actually a force to be reckoned with.
Wow,
It's a feel good story for you. I'm happy.
It's really nice of you there.
You.
Wow, you let it go there, A-Train. I didn't know you had that in you, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you, bro.
You do got Tampa Bay and Montreal right on your heels, but
yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this because we do it. We do it when we have special guests and stuff. We're gonna ask you obviously what your prediction is before these playoffs starts. Now I'll start first, right? I think you're gonna win in the first round, and I think it's gonna go to 5 games. That's my personal opinion. We can revisit this later. I'm actually gonna take your Sabres to probably win in the first round and probably take it within 5 games. Now, bro, what do you think? What do you expect from this team, especially first round?
I expect the jitters to be there. Remember, these guys, while there are some veteran guys on the team, a lot of them hadn't had success on the Sabres when you talk about the playoffs. So this is new to them. So I do think that no matter who they play, I think that team that they play will have an advantage from that standpoint. But I think as the series goes on, I don't think it would be a sweep. I think they'll catch their, skates, maybe that second game, start to get maybe that first period, they get hit in the mouth. And it's sometimes it takes that, to get going. So I can see them. I can see the ceiling for the Sabres. I can see Eastern Conference. Will they make it there? I'm not too sure because I'm just not confident in the guys that haven't actually been on the Sabres in the Sabre uniform playing in the playoffs. So I think it'll be a lot of pressure on these guys going forward.
Yep. You guys, you're the hot team right now. The inexperience is really the only thing that's really kind of, holding you guys back a little bit. But at the same time, I feel like, you have one of those Cinderella teams that always seems to do some miracle stuff, especially come playoff time. So I really do have faith in you guys. I'm not, when Jake was on here, I really just shit on the Vegas Golden Knights. I actually have faith in your team.
Right. Yeah, Golden Knights, that's a whole nother topic. But like I said, I do think the team, if the team wasn't good, you know me, bro. I'll tell you, man, I don't think we can. I don't think it. I think it's over, bro. I don't see that for this team. I see this team, like I said, I see the youth in the team or the inexperience could be a factor, but I also think that when it's all said and done, I think that they have enough to go forward and try to make some real noise. And so that's why I said like the ceiling would be obviously like the Eastern Conference Final and potentially getting out that Eastern Conference. And it also depends on because matchups do mean something. Like if the Sabres can avoid Montreal or Tampa Bay until the Eastern Conference Final, I think they have a damn good chance to get to the to the Stanley Cup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you have to go through both of them when it's all said and done, I just think that's a lot to actually a young team like the Sabres. So.
Yep, facts. You got anything, Graham?
Yeah, I think the Sabres are that. I think all the teams in the Atlantic, the top three, are a little bit interchangeable for me as far as who's going to come out. The reason I don't like I think the Canadians match up size well, speed well, and they have a lot better defense and goaltending right now. Well, defense, not goaltending, than the Lightning. Their defense is better than the Lightning. But if the Lightning play them, they will just kill them with speed. They have done it a lot this year. The Lightning but the Sabres have shown they can go back and back with goals for them. So I think if they face also, bro, who do you think if they keep one? Is it Bruins or Senators that they're going to face? That's what I'm concerned with too.
I would prefer the Senators only because I think the Bruins have a pedigree. As much as I can't stand the Bruins, as much as I can't stand their fan base, as much as I can't stand the former players, even though I don't really mean it, but I do as a Sabre guy, I think that I would rather have to play the Senators because while I do think they have a older, if you will, regime of like a pedigree, I just think the Boston Bruins are one of those teams that you really don't want to fuck around with when it comes to playoffs. So.
Yep.
But one thing too, I don't like is I don't like if the Senators get on this roll like they did last year, and they, the Kachucks. I don't like that weird energy they bring where they put the foil in the games and mess things up. I do think that if the Sabres face them, they're winning in 5. That's just my personal opinion. But I think that Lightning Canadian series would be a lot closer than people think. Martin St. Louis is coaching the Lightning, and you don't think that he would want to go into his old team's house and just absolutely kick them out in the first round with that young squad, knowing that he has these pieces that are not quite known yet, right? Slavkovsky, unknown in the playoffs, basically last year, little taste. Caulfield has stepped up this year. So I'm worried. That's why I'm worried about the Canadians. But ultimately, bro, I think you guys are the Lightning come out of the Atlantic. It's one of you. It's one of you two. And I would like to see the Sabres because I like Tage Thompson. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I think we have, like I said, I think we have a chance, but I also think that a team like Tampa Bay, I want to avoid them as much as possible, only because they do have the pedigree to win. They do have the pedigree to, in that third period when shit is tight, take the time out, get the team together. That's a team that you don't want to see with that last 30 seconds and your goalie's terrified that the potential goal or potential goal tying or, game winning situation is there. So I got a lot of faith in this team, man. I do. And fuck the Senators and fuck the Lightning. I just think that, hey, listen, we're going to have to take our chances, bro. Let's see what we come out with, man.
We beat that. We beat that team. We beat that team. Obviously you have to worry about that goalie. That goalie is a serious problem. So, we'll see. We'll see how this all pans out. What I see tonight is there's like a wild card war going on right now, right? So we have the Senators, the Blue Jackets, the Red Wings, the Islanders, and the Capitals all basically battling in almost like a Game 7 mode, right? Trying to get that last couple spots, for the wild card, right? So
how many games separate them? I didn't mean to cut you off, but how many games separate them? Those teams that you just mentioned.
I think they're all within a couple points, right, Graham? Can you look that up real quick?
So Boston is 4 points ahead, but the Senators have a game in hand on them. So that one could go anywhere. The Red Wings right now are up on the Flyers, who, of course, the Flyers are in the race in the Metro with the Penguins.
Metro.
Penguins, of course, if they win, can clinch tonight. The Blue Jackets and Islanders are battling it out for that last wild card spot in our division tonight. And Peter DeBoer actually is coaching tonight for the Islanders against Toronto. They are up 4-2 at the end of the
Oh,
second.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, so the Islanders and the Blue Jackets are down to your Sabres right now, bro, at the end of the second, 1-0.
Second. Okay.
So, this Islanders and Blue Jackets, this is a very tight game for both of them. They need this a lot. The Islanders really need this, and the Sabres, they don't need it. They could get they do need it if they want to keep the number one spot, but they still have in the standings the Sabres. Yeah, they need this win, bro. Lightning and Canadians have a game in hand on them.
Yeah, they do. But I don't, me personally, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I think in these next day or two, I think that's important for a team like the Sabres. You know what I mean? I think just because only the young, and same thing for Montreal too, like you spoke about. And I'm only speaking about the Sabres only from the same because I'm a Sabres fan. But when you look at them too, they could use the highest seed possible to deal with that on home ice. Because, like I said, I think in the NHL, people don't give it the credit that it deserves. Home ice. Home ice means, especially when you got that crowd going from like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and they've been waiting for 5 o'clock, and it finally gets there. Get that puck drop. So I just think it plays a role, and we'll see what happens, man.
Yep. And real quick, guys, I don't know if you noticed, we got some new NMP merch that's hit the store. We got
Oh,
this sweet hat here, all stitched, baby. Real nice, real comfortable. And we got that nice Adidas polo shirt that you're going to see me rocking at the NFL draft this year in Pittsburgh. A Train's also designed a couple items for you. We got the Denver editions of the Not Moved gear in the shop. Denver hats, Denver shirts, Denver polos. Go check them out. They're in there too. And I don't know, BroBro is able to think it through. He might be able to come up with some Buffalo designs for our Buffalo fans out there. We'll see. But
absolutely.
go check out the Not Move shop. Go check it out. We've got cool gear. This stuff feels great, breathes well. For real, all nice stitched, not moved. And also, BroBro, you're bringing back the debates, aren't you?
Yes, sir, man. So I want to give a big shout out, man. I don't like always continually saying JB name because I think his face is annoying to me. No, I'm kidding. Shout out to JB, man. Much love to him, man, for even approaching BroBro and just letting BroBro be BroBro. So I just want to give him kudos real quick. The debate show will be back live. We're putting the fine tune as to where we're going to be at, but you can definitely rest assured we will be on TikTok, we will be on YouTube, we will be anywhere possible to stream the debates, sports debates. There'll be a little tweak in it when it pertains to who's debating who. People are going to be getting called out. We have a lot of individuals in our communities of sports who love to talk sports and think that they're knowledgeable enough to debate sports. And so the purpose of the show isn't for you to debate me. Now, if you think that it's sweet and you want to debate, bro, you can do that. But it's all about you, the fans. It's all about you, the ones that want the opportunity to debate against whomever you want to, man. So I just want to say again, shout out to Not Move. BroBro the coldest every Monday, 7 o'clock, YouTube, Twitch. Make sure y'all go check BroBro out, man. BroBro the coldest, man. It's another sports live, another sports podcast. Make sure y'all show me the same respect that y'all show all the time. And I appreciate all the love and the support from Not Move, man. Appreciate y'all.
And remember, guys, don't let anything sway you one way or another because we are the originators of the debates around here. Okay. These are the OGs, the Not Move OGs with BroBro. So remember, guys, don't let these fake imposters out there get a hold of you. We're the number ones in the game. Now, there are some games still continuing, like you said, A-Train, Western Conference. Mammoth are looking like they're going to lock it up. As far as right now with the points, they do still have 5 games left. The Predators are on their heels by 4 points, but they have a game in hand. A-Train, do you think the Predators can catch the Mammoth?
Yeah, I think they can. I see. I'm up in the air on who I'd rather play. You know what I mean? I think The Predators seem to always give us fits too. You know, I'm interested to see what this Mammoth team can do. To be quite honest with you, I just don't think they're ready. I think that if we play them, I feel like they're not ready. Either way, we're gonna beat whoever's ass shows up. So I'm really not concerned. I'm really not moved by either teams, to be honest with you.
Well, right now we are going to find out what they do because the Mammoth play the Predators tonight at 9. So this is a very important game. I think the Predators fans might be probably a little underwhelmed, right? When they signed Steven Stamkos, they thought that team was probably going in a different direction than what they've been.
Yeah.
And hey, here we are now. The other parts in the other Pacific Division, that division's going to come down to the wire. With John Tortorella, what did we say? We said that when Torts got on board, they were going to get the Torts boost and that they were going to start winning. Well, they are now 2 points below Edmonton with a game in hand. Edmonton leading the Pacific Division. Golden Knights hot on their tail, winners of 4, haven't lost since Torts has joined the fray. And I guess we can just write off the Ducks at this point. We don't even really need to think about them, which is a shame because we were all excited about that young core, and it looks like it's fallen flat on its face. BroBro, the Kings are looking like they're going to shape up in that 4th and final spot, but Sharks making a little bit of a run here?
Yep.
Man, me personally, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I think a certain team, bro, they just in the way. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I think they in the way, bro. I think if I'm being honest about it, bro, you can look at them and say, okay, at the end of the day, can they score? Right? Most teams in hockey can score, but the problem for me is for the team like is the goaltending, bro. How are you going to say on one hand that your goalie is good enough, but his goal against average is above 2? It's above 2.5, if I'm not mistaken. So I look at that aspect, of San Jose. I don't fear that. And I'm not in the Western Conference, so I have no dog in the fight. But if I'm a team in the conference, I wouldn't fear him. I'd want to play him. I'd want to play against their goalie. I forget his name. I don't want to mispronounce his name. But I would definitely want to play against San Jose if I'm in that Western Conference.
Yeah, they're not scary. Are you really that scared of them? I'm not. I mean, I don't know.
No.
Yeah,
and like I said, I think it's the goaltending. I don't think that you have to have some type of stability too at goalie, man. When you get a guy that's giving up something past 2, and when you're talking about a goal against, if you're a playoff team, right? 9 times out of 10 is 1.8, 1.9 ish, right? You're one of those good teams up top. When you start getting to 2.14, 2.20, like that's a lot, man. So we'll see, man. I don't know though. I'm not sold.
Yeah, honestly, I think the only thing that I want to see maybe the Sharks get that 4th spot is just to add to the legacy of Celebrini. I think he's a true phenom in the making right now. We will see, of course. We've seen this from guys before, and sometimes injury or whatever happens. So knock on wood for him. But I think this would just be a nice little notch in his belt to start his career, to be like, hey, 2nd year in, I dragged my team. Or help drag. Obviously, he's part of a team. I don't want to single people out, but you know what I mean. He dragged that team. Yeah, we talked about it before. The next closest scorer is like 50 points, maybe a little less now off from him on his team. He is clearly the generator, the driving force. So for selfish reasons, I would like to see Celebrini get that notch. Now, my team, of course, is winning 3-2 right now. What I'm worried about is seeing the Flyers come up, which they do. They've been great. They've been red hot lately. Flyers now are losing right now 4-2 to Detroit, but Detroit has a tendency of letting third periods get away from them. So we could see something change here tonight. But the Flyers and the Penguins jockeying right now for who's going to be in that 2nd position. And for me, I cannot ask for a better 1st-round series than against the Philadelphia Flyers. It's going to have all the energy I want. It's going to have all of the hits we need. It's going to have all of the bitterness that we look for. We're looking for that rivalry in the 1st round. I'm all for it. I don't know what you guys think. I'm all for it.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
go ahead, bro.
I guess. I'm just saying, I guess. I'm scared shitless. I don't listen. I see. You know what's crazy about people tell me, "Oh, yo, I want the tough challenge to get to the Super Bowl." For what? The challenge is the Super Bowl. The challenge is the Stanley Cup, right? So why do I want to challenge to get to it? No. When we get to the Stanley Cup, give me the challenge. Then I can deal with that. Then the 1st and 2nd round, man, I'm damn near have a heart attack, man. I don't want to see that shit, man. So I don't know how I feel about a great team and happen to face them in that first, second round, especially for me, bro.
Bro, I can
Heartbreak,
tell
bro.
your team hasn't been in the playoffs in a while.
See,
I can
Right.
really tell that, you
Wow,
guys,
man.
doesn't seem like you have that bite that you used to. What's going on here?
I'm scared shitless, bro. I need a champ. Listen. I need a championship in the worst way, bro. I've got the North Carolina Tar Heels. I've won multiple championships. I'm a Chicago Bull fan. I won multiple championships. Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Been a long damn time, but I won multiple championships. Look, I know what it feels like, but the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Sabres. Lord Jesus,
they're due.
oh God, come on, bro. I need it,
So
bro.
So it sounds like BroBro probably wants Tampa Bay or Montreal. Sounds like Graham wants Philadelphia. I want Dallas. I mean, I do and I don't because Dallas is playing pretty ridiculous. Jason Robertson's playing some damn good hockey. But, I guess we know what we are looking forward to come playoff time. So definitely, BroBro, once these playoffs starts, hopefully we can chat again and talk about your Sabres and hopefully they pull off this, this playoff run.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Hey, bro, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you? Because we know we're going to have you back on the show. But in case anybody wants to hit you with a debate request, where can everybody find you at on your socials?
So man, you can type in bro_bro716 man on YouTube. You can check bro out. You can DM me there if you want to get involved with the debate show. That's going to be live as well on TikTok. You can go to bro_bro716 on TikTok as well, man. I'm gonna show up, man. Again, man. Shout out to everybody at the No Man Fantasy Sports Podcast. Shout out to Mitch. Shout out to all the guys. Definitely not doing the show right now, but the show will get back on Tuesday. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for that. Again, man, to everybody associated with this podcast and what's going on with this podcast, I just say much respect, much love. Do not fuck with BroBro. Don't think that you're gonna be on this debate show playing games, BroBro, because you know how BroBro is. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
You've been
Yeah, he
warned.
don't play.
You've been warned.
I can't wait. I can't wait for it. You got to leave us with for tonight, brother.
All I gotta say is it's pretty amazing, right? We have the top two players currently in the NHL. We have Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon, both playing ridiculous right now. These two men are peaking at the most ideal time, right before these playoffs start. I know you guys agree. It's going to be exciting to watch these playoffs. I'm amped for it.
Yeah, I'm really amped. And of course, guys, we're gonna have a show before the playoffs. If it's on Thursday or normal time, well then we'll catch you next week. But just in case things shift around a little, we'll let you know. But thank you all for joining us, bro. Thank you again. We cannot wait to have you back here
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
in the Wickets. And everybody, keep it not moved.
This non-casual podcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or reused without the authorized written consent of the Not Move Podcast Network. Thank you, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.